Alright, let's get going with this. So we'll start with doing this, obviously. So just replacing all the vars with const, like so. And we actually need to do this in different ways as well. So this object ID is something that we need to have. And what this does is essentially it's a MongoDB function that lets us get the or use the ID of a specific issue or item in the table, pretty much. It's a MongoDB function. It's native to it. But we're also going to need to add on to this. So we're using the Mongo client part of MongoDB here. And then we have this. We could change this to a Mongo function. We're not going to do that. This one we're actually going to delete because we're going to make this connection in a different way. So I'm going to remove that. And then we have an applet route here, and there are different ways to write this. Obviously, you could just write applet get, but if you write applet route like this, you can just write .get, .post, .put, and delete here. So all of these are connected to this route, and we actually just have one route for this project. We are going to need to do a const here, or we're going to do that, and then it looks like that. However, I'm not using this, so I'm going to comment that out. This is obviously something FreeCodeCamp has prepared for us because they have one way they think we should do this. But like so many other places in programming, there are several ways to do one thing. And we're going to do it this slightly different way. The first thing we need to do on any of these routes really is that we need to connect to the database. So we're going to do a Mongo client.connect, and we're going to connect to process.env.mongo_URI. They actually have DB here, but I'm using Mongo URI. It's a name, so it doesn't really matter. You can't have funny letters, but you can have normal letters in whatever way you want. And in here, we have to have this use new URL parser true. I wonder if I can do this. Let's check that. Oh. Should be able to do that. Let me try this. I haven't tried that before. Because technically, by just writing this like this, it's true. And if I do this, kind of, it's false. I want this to be true. I'm going to try if this works. I'm just curious. Anyway, so in here then we'll have a error. Let's see. So error and client, and in here we'll write our code. So if we have this error, we need to do something about this, obviously. So we'll console log that, and we'll go error. Plus error. You could actually do this even. Let's do that. Let's be a bit fancy and use console error instead of log. I never do that, but I probably should. And the client.close. So if we have some sort of error in our connection, we just close the client because we don't want to use that. If we don't have that though, we can use that client. So we go for a const collection. Is equal to client.db, and db is a function that's connected to MongoDB, so it has nothing to do with whatever we write in here. So client.db, and we're going to go for the issue tracker, and the issue tracker is obviously what I have here. So this is my database here, and the database also has a table called issues. So go back here, we'll go .collection issues. So that's the collection we're going for. And here we have a const query. And I'm actually instantiating an array here, an empty array. because we're going to have to fill this up in some way, and that's because this is our GET request. And as part of our user stories, we have that we should be able to filter these, and you do filter them while you get something. So we want to filter whatever query we have to a degree, pretty much. So here I have written some kind of ugly code. It works. I could probably write this in a better way, but the way I did it is essentially as like this. I wrote type of vector query dot issue title. It's not equal to undefined. If that's true, then you do query dot push issue title is rect.query dot issue title, and else it's null. So oops, for each field that we have, and we can actually look at which fields we have, because we can see that here. So in here we have a field as ID. Let's do this one instead, because this is the post one. So we have an issue title, we have an issue text, we have created by, we have assigned to, and status text. Those 5 fields have to be there, but on top of that we also have let's see, where do we have it here? On top of those 5 we also have created on and updated on, as well as open. So we need to query for all of those 8 fields, except ID, I think. Yeah, I don't think we should be able to query by ID. But we need to be able to query by the other ones. So essentially, I'll make a lot of statements here, and each one of these will see if anything's written there. So if the directed query that issue title is empty, then nothing getting added to this array. But if something is written there, then we just push whatever is written there to that array. And that's the same for all of these ones. So I'm actually just going to let's do it like this actually. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So in here then we'll have, instead of issue title, we'll have issue text, and here we should have issue text and issue text, and then we have created by, so vector query created underscore by. Okay, just copy that. We'll replace this one and that one, and just go through that with all of these. So the next one is assigned to, so like this, assigned underscore to, so and so, and then we have status text. And again, I'm sure there's a way to write this in a cleaner way. I didn't think of one when I did this. I just wanted to get a way that was easily overseeable, I could say. I wanted to have a way that for me made this fairly easy to overview and see what's going on and so on. And this actually does that for me. We should have it created on. Even though this looks a bit bad code-wise, it actually works for me. It makes it easy to see what's happening, and it's easy to fix things and change things. So this last one is going to be open, and that one can't be undefined, obviously, because this is a boolean. So if this is not false, then we push open is true, And otherwise, we actually want to push as well. So we always want to push true or false in this one. And the other ones are going to be null if nothing is there, but we always need to push this last one to the query. Right. So after this, I'll add a let such query be equal to an empty object instead. And if query.length is greater than 1, essentially meaning that if we have anything else than just this one, because it's always going to be 1 since we have true or false here. But if we have more than this one, this should not be type off actually. So anyway, if we have more than the last one, then we'll do something. And what do we want to do? We want to do a search query equals, and this is a MongoDB code, so and query. So this one is a sort of, it's part of MongoDB, let's just say it like that. And you pass an array into this, so you can pass this plus whatever else. And then we'll do a collection.find query.length is greater than 1. If that's true, we're making that check again. Then you do search query is a bit, and then you do to array. So all of this is documented in the MongoDB documentation. This is not just something I make up or know by hand. It's you can look it up really. So here we have an error and result, and if we have this error, then we just go for a console error, intercepted error in get plus whatever error we have. And if we don't have an error there, we can go for an if result and result.length. And oh, how much is it? I wonder if we can do this. This is new syntax. I don't know if I can use this here. It looks like I may be able to. So essentially, in the latest version of ECMAScript, they made it possible so that instead of doing this, so that what we're doing here is essentially that we're looking for a result and see if that's not null. And if it's not null, then we can check if the result also has a property of length. But in the latest version of ECMAScript, they added so that you can do this instead. It does the exact same thing, but it's easier syntax. I don't know if I'm allowed to do that in here. It depends on the version, I think. But let's have a look. So if the length is greater than 0, then we just do a result. So what we're doing here is essentially that we're making this query, right? And we're trying to find anything in the database that corresponds to whatever we want to query for. And if we find anything, then we want to show that. And if we don't find anything, we do a rest.send. No issues. No, it's difficult to spell. Were found. And so, and then we close the client. So client.close, like so. And I should be able to test this, I think. And let's just do this for safety. No? Okay, I'm not allowed to do that. Okay, then we'll do this instead. So result and result.length. No? Missing where? 78. Oh. Okay. And I missed something else. Probably that one. Huh. Let's see. That was there. That one is not finished. do that. And we have that there. All right. What do there? That one. We don't need that one then, I guess. So. Oh. Wait. No, I don't need that either. Come on. Yeah, good. So let's do that. Let's reboot this and let's go to like. Let's do that. I actually want to add some fields here, I think, but if we just do this for now, I just want to check that this works. So if we go to copy that ID, let's go back here, let's go update that with, is it closed? It's open. Let's close that. Oh, no, I can't do that. Huh, obviously. Question is, can I do this instead? Let's get back to it. Anyway, okay. I'm not allowed to do that either. True. And true. So good. Right. That's our get part. So we should be able to get stuff with that. We also need to be able to post stuff, because obviously I have some stuff in here, but you won't have anything. So what we're gonna do here is essentially that we're gonna add a way to post things or add things, and I'm actually just gonna do this for show, but then do that. So I won't use those. We'll do pretty much the same thing in the post one as we do here. So I'll actually just go ahead and copy all that. Probably that as well. With that. So because when we post something, we still need to connect to the database. So we'll start with that. And if we have an error, we still want to show that error. Here though, when we open the connection to this collection, we need to count documents. Essentially, that's a MongoDB thing. So we do count documents here, and you don't have to do it this way. I like to do it. I think it makes a lot of sense to me to do it this way, basically. So we'll do issue title, rected body dot issue title. So what we're going to do here is essentially that whatever we write in the post part here, so if we write do the dishes, for instance, if we press submit issue here, I want to check the database for this sentence essentially to see if it already exists. If it doesn't exist, then it's fine, then we can just add that. If it does exist, then we don't actually want another issue with the same name. So .then, this is a promise, good to know. So here we go, result, and if result is not equal to 0, then we'll just send back that an issue with that title already exists. So, and then we'll do client.close as well, because we won't be adding anything. Else, if, obviously, if type of rec.body.issue title is undefined, then we have another issue, right? But we could also have a type of rec.body.issue text, or type of rec.body.createdBy is undefined. So if either of these are undefined, then we have an issue, because we need this. We can't have this as undefined. I actually think, yeah. If you look at this, we can say that we have this really nice star here, and it shows us that these ones are required. This should never happen. This else if is sort of unnecessary because it should never happen. You shouldn't be able to submit the form at all if you don't fill in these fields, but we'll do this as a precaution. So rest of send, no updated field sent. I don't know why I wrote that. Let's do that. And client.close, like so. And otherwise we can just do an else here. And here we have a collection.insert1. We'll always just insert one because we only have one issue created at a time. So we'll do issue title. I think if I can write that. So it's rec.body.issue title. And we'll have an issue text, and that's a rec.body.issue text. We have createdBy, which is rec.body.createdBy. So all of these fields are whatever it's going to be in the database. So what we will show here, and the other stuff is just whatever we write in the submit form. And so we have assign2 here, which is rec.body.assign2. We have status text, which is rec.body.status text. It would probably be a lot nicer to just structure these, but let's not do that, because so created on and updated on are two fields we have, and we won't actually write those. Those should be automatically added to the issue. So we'll do that programmatically by adding a new date .to ISO string and .substring 0 to 10. And this is something that you may learn quite quickly depending on how much you work with dates. An ISO string is this one plus some other stuff. So if you just do, let's open a console here. If you do a new date, new date .to ISO string. So this is a full ISO string, but we're most often not interested in all of this, the time and whatever. We're interested in the first part, which is 10 characters. We have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And that's why we're just in here doing substring 0 to 10. And we'll have to do the exact same thing for updated on, because when we create a post, the created on and updated on is the same thing. So .to ISO string, that should be a function though. And then we'll just copy that. So, and we'll also have open is true. And that's because when we create an issue, we don't have to care about whether it's open or closed. It's always open because we won't create the closed issue. There's no point. After that though, after this curly bracket, we want to add something else. So in here we're going to add error and data. And if we have an error, then we do console.error, error on insertion plus error. I don't really know why we would get an error here, but if we do, we want to log it. We shouldn't really get an error here, I think, since we shouldn't really get this far if we have an error. Anyway, we should have a result send here with data.ops0. And what is this? I don't really know how to explain that. Anyway, it's a part of this data object. We get it from this. We don't want to send all the data, we just want to send part of this stuff. So let's do that. We could actually go like this, console log data, just to have a look at what that is. And after this, let's see, there, we want to have a client.close, so we don't have an open client. So if we go for an npm start here, we get an error. Cool. 137, that's not it now. Probably there now. Wait, that one's not closed. It is. That one's closed. That's closed. Do it here. Oh. Right. Let's see. I think we're missing 2, right? So this happens to me all the time, because you write so much code from going here down here, so it's so easy to just lose brackets somewhere. Let's see if I can do this now. Yeah, cool. Right, let's see if we're allowed to add anything. So if we add a title here, we have an issue with create, update, and delete routes. No, yeah. Right, missing. Let's do that. So it's created by me, quiz, assigned to quiz. Do this. Then we just submit this, and hopefully it works. It looks like it works. And the reason we get this up already is because of Ajax. So Ajax is asynchronous JavaScript. So when we press this button, we actually create a chain of events, really, which ends in us getting this. But we also want to check that this actually enters the database. So I'm just going to refresh here. And let's see. Yeah, cool. It works. And with that, I'm gonna finish off this video, I think. And I'll see you in the next part, where we'll add these ones that we also need. So see you then.